I do. Check me out one time, fake your mind. Know you see me from afar, from behind. But check me out 2 times, fake your mind. What up, people? What's going on? I'm looking at my channel. I'm making sure things are live. I'm gonna try to turn down music and make sure things aren't crazy. This looks really loud. But I can't tell. So, what I've come to do, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start testing my audio, right? I'm gonna go live on some other platforms real quick. Let me pull up TikTok. TikTok. Whoa. Take it easy. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. Stop. We're gonna deal with that later. Don't worry about that. Okay. Where we going? TikTok live studio piece, right? I'm supposed to be recording. Not that. Let's do this. I'm gonna check on the audio for the music this time, okay, guys? But don't trip. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it work. Oh, God bless man. Hold on. Wait. Let's go back. Let's go here. Live. Okay. Now, what did I say? What did I do last time? Did I turn it down here? I think I turned it down here. I'm gonna turn it down here. I think. No. It wasn't the software. Never mind. It wasn't here. I had to do it in the web. I had to do it on the web. Let's go to the website. And then I did it here. I'm gonna turn it all the way down in here, right? My guys. And then we're gonna try to figure it out. Alright. Let's make sure y'all can see this. Hold on. Oh, it's bright. Everything's bright. I'm gonna keep it there. Let's clean off my screen. And then, I like to do things while I get started. Starting soon. If we have questions. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to do that. Stop it. What? What happened? What is that? All right, gentlemen, and what is this? Clear. Sorry. Chat is fine. I'm going to test my audio, right? Before we get into things. Make sure things are working. All right, let's try this. Hold on. I'm going to pause audio for that. Oh, damn it. Interesting. Oh, I know what I can do. Let me see if that works. All right, where am I audio here? Yes, I know. Can I hear myself? Hello? Wait. That's that. But can I turn on... All right, let's see. Why can't I hear? Hold on. Do I have to... Hold on. Forgive me, guys. I'm trying to figure out my audio settings. Hold on. All right, let me see. It doesn't sound too bad. Now, how do I check TikTok? Audio could be a little bit louder on YouTube, but it's not bad, so I can take it as is. That sounds good. Let's see. All right. So if I go live onto this is the wrong thing. Like that. All right, now how do I? Good evening, folks. Good evening, folks. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the live. All right, I'm gonna check to make sure. Check to make sure the music is not blowing y'all out over there. We're going live on Instagram at the same. You know, I gotta figure out how to go live on Facebook too. Let me make sure I'm not blowing y'all out on TikTok. I wonder if I can do that on my laptop. Can I see my TikTok page online? Let's find out. Oh, I would have to log in. Son of a baller. Son of a baller. Can I search on TikTok without signing in? Let's find out. It says that I'm going live. Hold on. Wait. Just trying to check to make sure I'm not. Wait. I'm gonna mute YouTube. I'm gonna go here. I would like to watch my live. What I got? Says I'm live. I don't want to use that. Oh, well, that's helpful. Use QR code, but I'm using my phone. What up, y'all? I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out if I can test. Why do I have to log on? I don't want to log on. Do I have to log on to see TikTok? Well, that's dumb. That's really dumb. I can't see the page because I'm not logged in. Is that how this works? Amazing work on iLive, Popeye. Any chance you're coming back for art on volume 2? That's a great question and a valid question. But I think it's depending on if sales look great. So first off, thank you. I appreciate it. Who's Sophia? Is that how you say it? But yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the series. It's all based on, if the sales look good, man. That's how business works. It's a five issue comic. I got epic ideas for the story, but you can only put so much in 5 books. So hopefully, that's the goal. They're not gonna let me listen to the audio on my TikTok unless I sign in. And I don't want to do that right now. Obviously, I don't feel like doing that. All right, we're gonna do that. And then I don't think I have to mute that. Okay. All right, that looks good. We're going to go ahead and get some art done in a minute. Hopefully, you guys can tell me if the audio on any platform is too loud. YouTube or TikTok, if anybody's even going to be awake on these, I don't know. But if it's loud on TikTok, oh, you know what? I got to figure out how to go live on Facebook. Am I already logged in on Facebook, though? Let me see. I may not be logged in. Oh, I am. So what happens if I go live on Facebook, y'all? Can it do that? Go live. Create a live video. What's going on? All right, I'm going to try some stuff, man. Yeah, man. Picked it up on free. It's just a little loud. Hold on. It said, you said, yeah, I picked it up on Free Comic Book Day. And what sold me was the art. I'm glad to hear it, man. Action panels were great with a bit of anime action sequences. That was the plan. I wanted to definitely make that work. For, the classic fans, I know Popeye is not a traditional manga, but I had to try to find a middle ground. Oh, gosh. What is it? No, I don't need help with my camera. Allow while using this site. Okay. Oh, you know what it's going to ask me for? It's going to ask to use So I remember this. It's been a while since I went live on Facebook. So Facebook wants you to not use. Oh, look, streaming software. Connect streaming software to go live. What does that mean? Oh, I got to put the key in. How many keys can you go with at one time? These are good questions. I'm glad I'm doing this late. I'm trying to go as live to as many platforms as possible one of these days. So, is that something I can do now? Let me see. Settings. Streaming. Service. Hold on. Destination. YouTube Prime. What about if I want to do Facebook at the same time though? I don't know if that's gonna let me do that, y'all. All right. Okay. If I'm not using my streaming software, want to use my webcam, media source. Hello. Start screen. What does that mean? Retry. Okay. I don't know if it's gonna let me do Facebook at the same time, but this is why we're here. We're doing research. Stream setup. Settings. Stream. What do you want me to do here? Auto will choose the best latency, blah blah blah, yakety schmackety. Embed live video, no. Unpublish after live ends. What does that mean? Unpublish. Unpublished posts are not visible to the public. Why would I unpublish it after I finish? Oh, if I don't want to save it. I see what you're saying there. I got it. We're gonna figure this out, y'all, one day. Beacon mic. Yeah, let's do the beacon mic, full HD. That's fine. Got that. What is this VS? What is that? Cam. Should be this cam. Start screen share? No. What's this? What is this? Start screen share. What does that mean? I can pick a software? Ooh, chic. But I don't see the software I want. Liar. Window. Where's my window? It's right here. Why are you lying? There it is. Oh, there it is. That's the one I want. What? Stop sharing. Am I live on Facebook, y'all? Yo. What up, y'all? Welcome TikTok. What's going on, y'all? Please, somebody on TikTok, make sure I'm not blasting y'all out with this music. I had a problem with that last time. Am I live on Facebook, y'all? What the? Trying to screen share Chrome tab. I don't know. Damn, I don't know. I would have to go to Facebook to see if that's working. Let's go to Facebook on my other laptop. How about that? Facebook. Damn it. All right. I don't know how to get to Facebook. I'm not logged in on that. Where's my mic check and or sound check on TikTok? If you guys feel so obliged, please let me know if I'm blasting y'all out with the audio or the sound. I am not trying to do that on purpose. But Facebook is sharing a window. What the hell does that mean? Am I live on this window? I don't know. Just bought the Tuskegee Heirs Volume 1. That's what's up. Hopefully you're enjoying it so far. Well overdue for issue 5. So that is absolutely going to be started in the next week or so. You do not have to. I don't feel like I'm sharing anything, y'all. I'm tripping. Is it gone now? I'm confused. This is my stream setup, right? Unable to find camera or microphone. You're a bald-faced liar. Do it again. Is it because I'm using OBS at the same time? Because I have a streaming software, but it likes to... I don't know how to branch it off, If I want to do OBS, YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Right now, my main streaming is to YouTube. It's all right, man. I don't know if this is working. Start screen share, right? Window, this. And then it says shares. Choose what to share with Facebook. The site will be able to see the contents of your screen. Got it. Share. And it says I'm sharing. Ah, bruh, you know what I don't know is if it's telling the truth. So I would have to do some hoops. Give me 1 second. I don't even know if it's gonna show me. If I leave, I gotta get one more phone functioning that's logged in so I can figure out if this is telling the truth. I don't know if it's telling the truth. I think they're gonna make me log into my, yes, that one. What? Yeah, that's annoying. All right, you know what? I'm gonna have to just trust and believe that that's happening. If it's not, then that's okay. But if it is, that's great. All right, so here's what we're doing. We are. I'm gonna finish up this piece here. Let me move the reference is that. Guess who doesn't want to draw this robot? Me. I don't want to draw that robot. I love drawing my characters. Don't get me wrong, but that robot is very complicated, folks, and you know, I'm gonna have to get reference to draw it again. But she's quick. I can finish her pretty quickly. You know, relatively fast. She doesn't have a lot to go. But yeah, how y'all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. If it's the first time joining me live, thank you for joining me. I am a artist person. I draw. If you don't know me, if you haven't seen my work before, definitely follow me on Marcus the Visual at any of these wonderful sources. Most of them. I'm new to TikTok. I'm still trying to figure out what to do on TikTok, so bear with me. All right, where this is her. What is this? Her hair. This is her skin. This is her highlights. I haven't seen this file in years, so hold on. This is her gold. Why is that separated? You know, when you go back to an art file and you're like, what the hell was I thinking? Why did I do it this way? This is a weird way to set this up. A lot of layers. I've tried to cut down on layers these days, so do I have a layer for? Yeah, I do. Should I keep it like this? Is the question. That's the real question, because it seems a little cumbersome to keep up with. But for now, because I don't want to make you guys wait, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. Any questions you guys have, please feel free to ask it. I am available while I'm working, man. If you got questions, comments, if you want to give me tips, if you want to tip me, all of these things are encouraged. Hold on, how do I pin a comment? Wait a minute. Let's see. Tips. Tip. Let me see. Tip your boy. Tip your boy. That's over here. That. And we're going to do Cash App. What's up, Janelle? What's going on, y'all? Welcome. Please I don't think anybody has sound checked me on TikTok. If you guys are listening on TikTok, please let me know if the music is blasting you out. I'm not trying to blast you out. That's not intentional. You can hear, but is it too loud or is it just right? If it's just right, I'm not mad. That's the goal. And thank you in advance if that is the case. All right, boom. Where did my comment go? You liars. Where's my comment? Oh, right here. Okay, I want to pin that. Pin that comment. Your viewers might not see the what? Why wouldn't they see it? You liars. Everything's smooth, just a little low. Oh, the audio's a little low. Let me turn it up then. Yeah, no, I'm okay with a little audio turned up now. I just don't want to blow y'all out. All right. Let me know when it gets too crazy, if it gets too crazy. All right. Hopefully that's not bad. And you guys, can y'all see everything I'm doing? I got to figure out how to look at all of this stuff that's going on, man. It's like I have to trust that all these things are working. I suppose once I get let me reduce this. Let me make this a little bit simpler, y'all. Hold on. This is my gold layer. This is my what? Her hair? I can keep her hair layer. I'm gonna reduce all these clothes though. Hold on. Boop, 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 boop. So boop and boop. All right, cool. And I'll put some layers for lighting and shadow. And I need, let me see, I need one more thing. No, I got this for her reference color. We'll use this, sample this for her color. All right. Hopefully I'm not blasting y'all out. If that's all right, cool. But yeah, man, welcome. Oh, we got a message. What did I do? Oh, love your work, brother. Appreciate it, man. I think that's brother. Thank you. Is the question. I can't see your avatar. It's a little small, but I definitely appreciate that. Thank you. That was never my intention. I just do work for myself, man. If it makes you, if it's any kind of enjoyment for anybody else, man, I'm happy to hear it, and I appreciate you. Let me know. There's a lot more work I gotta do. Lord knows. Okay, what are we doing here? Oh, I see what's happening. I may need to flatten this line art a little bit. So the goal here is, let me see if, I don't know if you guys can see it. The goal with this piece is Ayana. Oh, you know what? I can open up. Let me save that real quick. Always save your work, folks. Always save your work. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. It says I got 4 people on YouTube watching. That's crazy. Who are you mystery people? Y'all just lurking in the background, but say what's up to your boy. All right. Mic check or sound check on YouTube. Marcus the Visual on YouTube. Listen, if I'm blowing anybody out with music, y'all better say something. What I was gonna do, I was gonna open up this robot that I do not like drawing, even though I love the design. I designed it, but Lord knows I don't like drawing it. Let's go right here. Here's our robot. I could cheat and completely just, find his frame, because I know I've drawn this head at least once up close, but we're not gonna cheat. Okay, what kind of content creator would I be if I was just grabbing? Wait. What? Empty? What you talking about, cuz? Wait. Why would that be empty? Oh, it's still selected. I see what I did there. Hold on. All right, so this is gonna be the head that I gotta redraw. All right, man. Listen. Let's double check the. No, it's not exactly. Dang it! It's not the same. I can't copy it and paste it. All right, I can't cut corners, but that's all right. We're not here to cheapen your experience. But that's all the details I need for this giant mech. This is from Tuskegee Heirs, guys. If you haven't seen the comic, definitely check it out. Wait. So what did it say about my comment? It said your viewers may not see your pinned comment. Encourage your viewers to send gifts and thank them for their support. How do I do that? And where's my pinned comment? Oh, here's my pinned comment. What did it say about it? Pinned comment. Why does it go away on TikTok? TikTok is weird, man. I need somebody that's good with TikTok. All right, so let's get to it. I'm gonna finish Ayana first, but this background, oh, it has a lot more lines. Oh, I was tripping. I thought we had a little bit more. So as you can see in the background, this is the shoulder that she's standing next to. This little shoulder. She's in the cockpit right here, right? So if the cockpit is open, Ayana's standing like right here in this little area, right? Underneath the head of the giant mech, which transforms into a jet. But Lord knows I don't like drawing straight lines, man. Straight lines are the bane of my existence. Mostly because they take forever, and I don't like taking forever to do stuff. I'm a concept artist, all right? You get the idea, and I'm happy. That's all I really care about. We're going to do it like this. I can go fast. Let's see if we can go fast. How about that? We'll try our best to move. I kind of want to finish Ayana first. But as long as I know what I got to do, and you guys see what I got to do, I'm going to flatten. Why do I have this like that? That's not a thing. Maybe this was just for detail. I don't really need this to be right here. But yeah, man. Questions, comments, y'all. Okay, I got a question on YouTube from an artist's point of view. What's the easiest way for a writer to communicate to the artist in general? What should be included in the script to convey what the writer wants to get across? I don't know if I asked right. You asked it perfectly, actually. It's a great question. Unfortunately, there is a few answers, but none of them are gonna be universal for every encounter. You know what I mean? Artists are unique humans, just like writers are unique humans. So I know that I would say the general rule of thumb is picture a script as a writer. Think of a script for a comic no differently than you would a film or a television script or a movie script, whatever. You know, that is actually the best way to actually compose what you're actually telling an artist. You're the director, right? Let's say you're doing a movie and you write a script that says panel one, or let's say shot one. You know, if you've ever seen a film script or a movie script, you're going to basically be describing. You're writing visually for, let's say, the photographer or the camera crew or even the actors themselves as they're reading, the script. You're basically breaking down very visually what's about to be shown on this shot, right? So let's say the character is walking outside and it's, nighttime, but they're in front of a club. Okay. Your job as a writer and director is to say, in the script, exterior shot of a club, there's people standing outside the club, street light. It's a wide shot. The street light is flickering or poorly lit. Let's say, that's your exterior. You're breaking down the exterior shot, right? So from there, that's everything. And you say, okay, panel two, right? And it's a close-up shot of character walking outside the club. Same thing that you would do in a TV or movie script. Your job is to just, completely be very visual and describe exactly what the camera is seeing. The artist is going to use these, oh, this is loud for me. Hold on. The artist is going to use all of these visual descriptors to actually, draw that based on your descriptor. So it really doesn't matter. Like I said earlier, some artists work a little differently, but you're giving them visual direction as to what everybody can see. Now, this script should be, easy to explain to anybody reading your script. So if it was a colorist, reading the exact same script, they should be able to understand, what's going on in that shot, just like the artist should be able to understand what to draw. If you tell a colorist it's at nighttime and they, said they read the script, but they make it a daytime shot, you can easily go back and say, yo, my man, this is a nighttime shot. This is a club at night. Did you read the script? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I read the script. Then why'd you make it daytime? Why is everybody, this is not supposed to be daytime. So for the artist and for anybody else reading that script, you want that script to be very visually described. The artist is, if you trust the artist to make any kind of, let's say, your work has been such an inspiration over the years. It's on Instagram. I'm sorry, y'all. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'm glad to hear it. That's really cool to hear. Again, never my intention to inspire anyone, but if it happens, man, I'm humbled. So thank you for saying so. But yeah, hopefully that answers the question. You actually have to make sure to describe visually as if someone is blind, right? And you're describing the actual every panel. You don't have to go into not like novel level detail. You don't have to actually describe it as if someone's reading. You're not narrating it, you're describing it. You're descriptive writing. Okay? So there's a big difference. Don't go too far and make sure to give enough information. You don't have to, really narrate what the characters are thinking. You don't have to actually, that's not true. Unless what they're thinking is something that the artist needs to convey, I should say. If you say the character is thinking that they're being double crossed, and that needs to read on the character's face, that's fine. You can put that in there. But that's, again, for the actual artist to actually render that if it's an expression, you know. But by all means, you know, just make sure you're using descriptive writing. That should really fill in the gaps. We got a question on TikTok. How do you always get the right colors and right mood? I'm gonna go ahead and stop you right there. That is a bald-faced lie. I do not always get the right colors or the right mood. I'll give you a good example, man. I just did a commission this past weekend, and it was late. It was going on maybe 10 or 11, and in my mind, I was like, oh, this is gonna be quick. I can finish this off. You know what I'm saying? No time. This is gonna be easily like a 3-hour job. Took me 4 hours because I was not feeling what I was drawing. Like, I kept having to redraw the character, right? And I'm like, God dang it, what is wrong with me? I had to find reference. I had to get up and walk around. I was upset. I was like, what is this? Why don't I know how to draw all of a sudden? And it just, you know, I don't post that stuff. But trust me, man, I promise you, I'm not joking. I do not always get it right. I think every artist and every creative, you know, there's those moments where you actually have to really check your energy. You got to check your vibe for creating. You ever see an orchestra before they start to play, right? They prime up. They all, they get warmed up. Sometimes I sit down and I forget that, my brain needs to warm up sometimes, Granted, I've been drawing for over 30 years, so I know exactly what I'm doing, but technically isn't the problem. It's like your brain has to get back into the mood sometimes because it's just not in the mood. So you have to actually put your mind back into the mode of, oh, I got to draw. But your brain could be on something else. It's like I felt sleepy. I was like, yeah, I'm not in the mood. What is going on? And it would not fix itself. And I was like, bruh, what is going on here? I got up, went upstairs, took a shower, came back down, and sure enough, I could have quit. I could have been like, let me just turn this off. I'm going to bed. And I could have just, started again the next day. I've done that too. But no, I muscled through it, man. I muscled through it, and I was like, you know what? Let me go find some reference. Because I obviously am not trusting my own skills right now. And I ended up actually getting exactly what I needed. Everything started working out. I did forget how to draw anatomy that night for whatever reason. I was getting the anatomy all jacked up. I was like, what the hell, man? I know how to draw ribs. I know how to draw this, that, and the other. But I needed to look at something to jumpstart my brain again. And sure enough, muscled through, came out great. I was happy with it by the time it was all said and done. But y'all don't get to see that all the time. So I definitely don't post the stuff I don't like. So that is the truth. But I'm happy you think so. That's just smoke and mirrors. That's not the truth. I try to post only the stuff I'm happy with, and I'm definitely not always happy with my work, so I don't post it. But I've learned to art direct my own art over the years. You do something long enough, in your any kind of skill-oriented field, you'll end up getting to that point where you can actually like check your own skill and be like, bruh, what the hell were you thinking? That's definitely not going to work, or that's not good enough. Go back to the drawing board. So yeah, I've had those moments. But I'm glad you think so. That's just the result of me not posting the crappy stuff. So, but don't believe that. Don't believe the hype. That's not true. On YouTube, Camelback says, thank you. That helped. Now, how should I give critique? Oh, this is actually a really good question. He says, I've worked with some big artists who got what I wanted, but then some smaller artists who have to give a lot of direction, and I feel like I think I know where you're going with that. It cut you off, but I feel like I know what your question is. This is actually like, listen, I want you to be real clear. I'm telling you that this is actually really important to know, man. There is no one answer for this. What you're asking for is called a constructive critique. Artistically, that's the actual term. Constructive critique, right? I'm sorry, constructive criticism. That's what you're asking about. Totally real thing, totally not always gonna work for some people. And it has nothing to do all the time. It's not always you thing. You can say everything right. You can focus on using art terms. You can be very polite. It's just some artists and some people, and this is true for life, man. It has nothing to do with what you're saying. It has everything to do with how they feel about it. And unfortunately, man, that's the part where I'm saying it's true for life. And I've learned this through my experience, because I definitely have a thick enough skin to take constructive criticism all day. But man, some people don't know how to talk. Some people do not know how to communicate, and it comes off really, really wrong, even though they're not trying to do that. And some, people can shut down, people get offended. You can lose somebody on a project just because they were super, super sensitive about something they felt was their best work. But if you come back and criticize it, and they're not in the right mind space or whatever, man, you could definitely cause a rift, and shut that person down. It's not your fault. That's what I'm trying to, I guess, make sure I convey. It's not necessarily anyone's fault, but, you got a project to do. Hopefully everybody working on the project is professional and they get that, hey, man, sometimes it doesn't work or it needs to be reworked. Hopefully everybody on the project understands that. Does not always work that way. And that's just being real. It does not always work out like that. So, best advice I can give you is really, really understand or study, art terms. And I that seems kind of daunting as as something to say out loud, study your art terms. But I'm being serious. That's honestly your best defense when you're trying to explain something as complex as, giving a critique on art. A lot of times, to save yourself, I'll give an example. Don't say it's just the wrong vibe, even though both you and the artist know what vibe means. Don't be vague, and don't use vague language if you're trying to critique something specific about art, right? Because to the artist, if you're trying to be vague and they turned in this artwork thinking everything was right, when you're trying to actually convey what's wrong, try and use the clearest, language that you can. And to save yourself some frustration, if you know the art terms, for instance, you can say the composition is just not readable right now. The composition of the elements on the page, right? And I know some people are like, what the hell is composition? It's just the art term for, the placement of elements in an art piece on any given canvas, right? Composition, right? But if you say it in a very nonchalant, very vague, it's just things are crazy, or it's just the page looks crazy, right? To an artist, they're gonna be like, what are you talking about? Everything looks fine to me. Why? What do you mean crazy? Right? Then you run the risk of actually offending, the artist, instead of conveying what you really are trying to say to them, right? So if let's say you don't like the line art, you don't like the line weight, you don't like the anatomy. You see what I'm saying? You're trying to convey something very specific. If you don't know the art terms, if you don't know how to criticize or critique that artistically, and I've definitely worked, I'm telling you from experience, I've worked with top executives, I've worked with executive producers on animation, and they're talking to a whole animation studio, and they're using terms that are like, street, Very, very cordial street terms. Like, it's just the wrong vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's not hitting. And these poor artists are not from America. You know what I mean? And they have no idea what the hell that means in reference to the art that they're reviewing. So you got a whole bunch of people looking clueless. Like, what? So what do you want us to do? Right? I don't know. It's just the wrong vibe. You actually need to equip yourself to communicate artistically if you're critiquing art. And it's just, I'm not telling you to go to college, but just learn the basics. If nothing else, learn the basics of, what certain elements are, especially if you're talking about things that you're going to be talking to an artist about. Anatomy, chiaroscuro, things that speak to, the elements of the page. If you don't know them, that's okay. Nowadays, man, listen, just go learn some stuff from ChatGPT and say, hey, can you give me a dozen of the most, I guess you could say the most common, elements and terms used by artists, right? And their definitions, right? Literally, it's that simple to get started, just kind of breaking it down. It doesn't have to be anything crazy or complex, but just imagine if you could speak, mechanic, right? And your mechanic is actually trying to explain stuff to you, right? And they think you don't know what they're saying, and you're like, oh no, I know what that term means. Yeah, catalytic converter is blah blah blah. Oh, okay, yeah, exactly. And suddenly, now you guys are on a common ground. But if you don't speak their language and they're trying to explain to you the reason they did something or the reason they need to do something, or regardless of what your directions were, they had to go with this option because it makes the most sense artistically, but you don't speak their language, right? You don't speak art. That's where you have to just equip yourself. I promise you, it will help you as a writer for the rest of your days, especially if you're dealing with artists. They speak art, and even if they don't, you can educate them and be like, listen, I need you to fix, the foreshortening. The foreshortening. What is foreshortening? If they don't know, that's okay. It just means maybe they didn't get formal training, and that's cool. If their skill is there, it doesn't really matter. But if they don't know what that term is, foreshortening, that is the, extreme closeness or far, the distance away from the viewer and the object that you're viewing on the page. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say that's the best weapon you can use. Educate yourself and really understand it to enough point that you can say how, the art is either successful as is, but it could be pushed if you do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, So that would be my biggest thing. And I've dealt with this on both sides of it. I've given direction to other artists, and I've definitely, been on the receiving end where the person that's giving me the critique does not know how to speak art, does not know anything about how to convey what they're trying to achieve. And it's frustrating on both sides. So you're like, bruh, I hear you. What do you want me to change? I don't know. It's just not right. And I'm like, okay, I'll just change some stuff and hopefully we can get to rightness. And they're like, okay. And it can go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that gets frustrating after a while. So hopefully that helps. It's a lot. It's a lot to actually, it seems daunting, but trust me, it's a good thing. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Right? Hey, hold on. Is my Bluetooth? No. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna do something. Okay, hold on. People on Instagram, hold on, y'all. Hold on. I think we're good. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm back on Instagram, yo. I'm sorry. If y'all can hear me on Instagram, please say something. Put a thumbs up or something like that. I had to. I realized I had my headphones on this whole time, and I was just talking to to my phone in front of me, but I don't know if you guys were able to hear me clearly. So now I got my microphone and my headphones on. And if the sound is too loud, just let me know. Y'all are up late. That's what's up. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me double check. Okay, never mind. There's been 56 total. We got one in here. All right, good. For my late night folks, thank y'all for joining, man. I should have planned this out, but I figured let me just try to get some content. Doesn't necessarily mean that people won't see this later. So long as y'all got it, I answer some questions. Thank you. That's a big help because I want to work with smaller artists, and they have good work, but it's like a few things that need to be pushed. Also, I'm a big fan, especially of your Swaptober and Stygian. I appreciate it. I'm glad any of that information can help. And like I said, my disclaimer, man, just don't be like, oh, Marcus, I tried that and it didn't work. It doesn't. There's no guarantee that people won't get offended or hurt, butt hurt about being critiqued. And I've been there. As an artist, I've been there. And I'm just like, dude, I chose this because what you were telling me as a writer is impossible to draw. Like, I can't draw it from this angle because it doesn't work. And sometimes the writer is at fault. You just got to be ready for that too. An artist that can actually help you, visually achieve what you're trying to go for, can sometimes point out some of the actual, blind spots in what you're requesting. I had that happen recently on a comic with Marvel, and I'm just like, the description was super impossible. I was like, wait, the character's jumping is dodging, but they're punching and they're also flipping. I was like, nope, that can't happen. That's not gonna work. That's impossible. Now, I didn't argue with him. I just sketched something more logical and possible. She can't dodge, punch. It wasn't an onion skinning situation either. It wasn't like, show this happening over the course of this many frames. No. This was happening in like one frame. And I was like, nah, I don't think that's possible. That's too much happening in this one frame. However, I can fix up something like this. And they never even, I don't even think they noticed that I edited, but they didn't push back. The editor didn't push back on the project. So I was like, okay, I guess it worked out. The writer nor the editor said anything about it. So it was actually pretty cool. I like that question. Is there still money in art? Well, I tell you what, there's a lot of artists that wouldn't be in a job. I assume, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm acting like the world isn't changing in front of our eyes. I'm sorry. Let me be clear. Absolutely, man. You got to treat it like a business. Art is a business just like anything else. So if you want it to be successful, if you want to be successful as an artist, you need to think as a business person. Still, just like it's never changed in that regard. If you're doing art for fun, if you're doing art just for, a hobby, if you're just, doing art because you want to express yourself, nothing wrong with that. But if you're not doing good business, or if you're not, charging the right rates or whatever, you know what I mean? Then you may not do well. And that's where the term starving artist actually comes from. Because many people will gladly do art. And, they'll do it for free. They'll do it for low rates. They'll do it whether they get paid or not, Yes, I got a TikTok. Listen, I'm trying slowly to make it make sense. I'm trying to get better at it. So, bear with me, but follow me, because I think they said they're gonna take away China TikTok, and they're gonna put on a U.S. TikTok, basically doing the same thing that they're afraid China's doing, which is basically just stealing your info. But Follow me in the meantime because I'm trying to go live more to create content and stay on top of this long form stuff. I want to put this long form stuff somewhere. And let me see how big her. Wait. That's reverse. That's in reverse. I was about to say, why is that so small? Yeah. So follow me on this one. Check me out. Keep me in there, locked in. But yeah, and stuff. Let's see. I was saying something, y'all, but that thought is completely, completely gone. No, it is definitely possible to critique and not miss the mark. Now, if you get an artist or if you work with somebody, even if they're professionals and they still get offended, you cover your base. If you are professional in your critique and you can clearly, describe what it is you're trying to go for, if they still get butt hurt, man, trust me. Listen, it's part of the business too. Unfortunately, actors are no different, musicians are no different, in the sense that you can convey everything you think you want them to try to achieve, but it's, people are people, man. You may succeed at communicating perfectly, and their feelings could still get hurt. They could still be offended. They can still not understand what you're trying to talk about, even if they understand exactly what you're saying, art terms or not. There could be there's a chance that communication can still fail, and you're trying to move forward because you got a deadline. So just be ready for that. That's all I'm saying. Be ready. It may or may not work, but cover your bases so whatever you're saying actually has a base and some actual art terms and all that good stuff. Question: do you have any marketing techniques for indie stories on Kickstarter, or just growing an audience on social media? Absolutely. What I can speak on is what I've seen work for me over the past 10 years. There's no one thing for everybody because it depends on what your audience is. Who is your audience? Yeah, I'm working on the Tuskegee. Come on now. Now I gotta be honest. This art piece is one of 5. It's been in sketch mode. Let me show you the sketch. It's been in sketch mode. Oh, why is it? It's permanently like that. Anyhow, it says 100. Is this white? Where's this at? Hold on. This is low. Yeah, this has been in sketch mode for since 2016. I don't want y'all to judge me, okay? But yeah, this has been in sketch mode since 2016, and that's my fault. I take responsibility for that. It's been a busy, couple of years. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Anyway, marketing. What's worked for me is you got to come from behind your computer. I would say that's the best advice I can give you, and be in front of your audience. Don't just stay behind the computer. Don't just assume that everybody is going to find you online. That is absolutely not true. When I go to a comic convention, I call it direct marketing, right? Because you are meeting and greeting real people. They're talking to you as the artist, as the creator, whatever it is, right? So direct marketing, a lot of people get it mixed up. They think that, going to a Comic-Con is just to make money or it's just to sell stuff. And I'm like, no. Making money is like icing on the cake. Don't get it twisted. You are not there to just make money. You are there to actually meet and greet, talk to people, because if it was just about selling product, you can do that online, right? You can just market and sell ads or whatever on Google or something. If you're just trying to sell product. Going somewhere in person, however, you will be in front of thousands of new customers, potential new customers, right? And they're talking to you directly. That means you can sell your product directly, you know what I mean? And the goal isn't just to sell the product. It's to actually sell yourself because you're the product. The comic or whatever you're working on is the byproduct. Do not ever assume that the only thing people are caring about is, oh, wow, hey, this is a nice book you got here. The goal, in my opinion, is to make fans. Go to a show, go to a comic convention, go to wherever your customers are, find your customer, wherever they're going to be. And the goal is to make a fan, a brand new fan of you, the creator. Not, you may make a fan of your product too, but every conversation is going to be based on, hey, what is this? Who are you, the creator? Have you heard of my work? Have you seen my product before? And from there, man, you can actually begin the conversation of trying to actually make sure they know that you have a purpose. You are doing this for a reason. If they align with your reasoning, you could make a fan that will follow you indefinitely and buy every other product you ever put out if you succeed, in actually, I guess, selling yourself as a creator. You're the reason the product exists, yeah? So if they say, you know what, I like your mission statement. I like what you're doing here. I'm going to follow you. That's exactly what they'll say. How do I follow you? Not how, how do I follow your book? It's how do I follow you? Where is your content, And from there, the coolest thing that I've seen going to shows and actually getting out in front of people is those people will share your content for you. They'll market your content for you, not because they just like the product a lot of times. A fan actually champions you, the creator. So they're actually excited about your work. So they're going to share it with their friends and families. You know what I'm saying? They're going to talk you up to, people in their social circles or whatever. And that's the cool thing. So that's my best advice, man. Get from behind your computer and get out there in real life and actually talk to people about your product. Go to shows that correlate with your product. I've done Comic Cons because I created a comic, obviously. I've created fans of my work because I'm displaying my work at a place like a Comic Con or anime festivals, whatever. People that appreciate art saw my work for the first time, was like, yo, you drew this? Oh man, this is fantastic. Da, 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 da. How do I follow your work? And from there, I've had people come up to the table. This has been over 10 years. I've been going to shows saying they followed me for, 10 years. And have followed every piece I've created. Da, da, da. I'm like, what? But that's the goal. That's a fan. You don't only want a customer. So my best advice is, yeah, man, go to wherever your market is. If you do crochet, go to crochet festivals. If you do, novels, go to book festivals and set up tables. And hopefully you make money while you do that. But ask any business, man, if, they're going to stop spending millions of dollars, right, at Super Bowl or on commercials or trailers for movies. Ask them if they're going to stop spending all this money, right? Because it's still not a guarantee that they're going to make a sale just because they're spending marketing dollars, right? But there's a possibility they're looking for their customers. So you can spend ad money all day and it could work, right? There's a potential yield and a potential, possibility that someone's going to see it. And hopefully you find them, your customer, through that ads or through those marketings. But it's not guaranteed. But they're spending tens of millions of dollars to try to find that. So I would say, yeah, man, find your customer, go out there, talk to them, sell yourself first, introduce who you are, why you're doing it, all that good stuff. And hopefully you make a fan out of that. And that's where you get a customer for a long time. Unless you do some crazy stuff. I can't guarantee they're going to keep following. If you're doing crazy stuff, you may lose a fan. I don't know. You say some crazy stuff, have some crazy views, support the wrong politician, you could lose a fan. That's interesting. I never saw myself at the selling point Oh yeah, 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 definitely. Treat it like anything else, man. You are the product. Your product itself is a byproduct of you. Okay? And now, if you are hideous and or you don't think that's going to be a good idea to get to get in front of people, I got to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you the truth. If you do not feel like that's a good idea due to the fact that you are not the most well-spoken person, or whatever, if you don't feel comfortable, maybe you don't have time, then definitely have somebody that can represent you at these spaces. There's company gave me their card, and they represent artists at shows. Now the only trick with that, it's not to me, it's not, it's a business. If you don't have the time, right, you got to pay somebody to hopefully represent you. That's usually what publishing companies do. But what I'll say about that is I'm a self-published artist when it comes to my comic book. And I really, really, really believe this. Nobody else is going to sell your product the way you will sell your product. That's just not possible. Now, you could find somebody that's talented. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's never going to be as thorough as you selling your own idea. You telling the story of why you did something. You can train somebody, you can definitely pay somebody to actually learn, and that's possible. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's always better, in my opinion, to have the creators on point, on location, explaining the why, the what, and answering the hard questions, that no one could answer really. If it came down to saying, why you got into this, and what's your views on blah 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 and yakety smackety, whatever that is. But yeah, it's possible to just if you get your book published by somebody else, like a publishing company, they just got a lot of other books to actually push and sell. So you can't guarantee that somebody else is gonna passionately sell your book the same way you would. So just be mindful of that, and definitely, man, don't count yourself out. You're a big part of why anything you create would actually sell at a show or any kind of thing like that. Especially if you're talking about making a fan versus a customer means they support you. They may love your idea for the actual book, but if you actually succeed in making a fan of who you are, well, they'll support whatever you create. And that's, to me, that's the biggest goal. That's what happened over the last 10 years for me, and it's worked out, man, because this project right here is well overdue to be finished. Good evening. How you doing, Valina? Valina. Welcome. Yeah. But it's I don't know, man. It's there's a science to it. There's some folks at a show that go way harder at selling than I do. So I can humbly say it's not an exact science per se. Some people do a very I call it car salesman approach, and I don't like, hey, can I talk to you? Let me talk to you real quick. Have you heard? Let me ask you something. If you give me 2 minutes, can I interest you in and what do you know about? That's a car salesman approach. I feel it's a little bit too pushy. It's not my style. You know what I mean? Of doing that, but I can see it works for them. But if you're trying to sell your product, man, yes, you better believe. Find the way that works for you. If you're at that show, the goal is to make fans. So hopefully that helps. And Lord knows I'm gonna have to find it's either gonna be a robot or an AI video of myself sitting at these tables, man. It's my birthday month this month. I'm getting older, y'all. How many issues do you have in mind for your comic? You, assuming you're talking about Tuskegee Heirs. Um, I can say 7 issues are going to be the first story arc. That was the plan. That was always the plan. To get the first story arc going. Where it goes from there, man, I honestly believe I'm gonna have to find. I gotta replace myself because animation is the goal for this series. And if no, let's not say if. When it gets to animation, thankfully I've worked in animation, the animation pipeline with Sony. I was a character designer, and I got to work from the beginning of the production where they were starting to actually, ramp up on animation from concept to, finishing that process. Cartoon I worked on was called Young Love. If y'all never saw it it was on Max. You made me into a pilot. Thank you. Happy birthday. It's my birthday month. I guess I'll take that. I'm not used to celebrating the whole month, but we're about to do it this month. Look, early birthday tips. Please go to Cash App and just put in Marcus the Visual. Early happy birthday tips. If you're endowed to do it, I know everybody just paid rent, but if you got it, go on and get it. But yeah, stop saying that. When we get to actual animation, because I'm working on some right now. We're getting the characters rigged in 3D first. And that way, I wanted traditional 2D animation, but going 3D actually will help because I want to go to video games next. When we get to animation, right, in that pipeline, it's going to be nearly impossible for me to, be directing or being an executive producer for animation on this project and drawing a comic. That's just not realistic. For me, I'm not going to be able to actually have that much. It's too much. Based on what I saw on animation for, Sony, that pipeline is nuts, man. If you're the executive producer or the showrunner or whatever like that, that's the position I would have to hold, amongst other things. And it's nuts. Like, you have to approve every part of that production. You should celebrate the whole month. I am going to celebrate the whole month. Absolutely. Definitely going to do that. I will do that. That's what I'm saying. Early. Just start sending birthday tips on Cash App. Just start doing that now. That's fine. And just say happy birthday with it. I'll take it. How is AI changing the game in terms of what, comics or animation or just illustration? Which one are you talking about? Because I'm not an AI doom person. AI is just a tool, in my opinion. If people are butthurt because it's taking jobs, listen, man, I sympathize. Absolutely. It sucks for anybody to lose their livelihood. So I always preface that. But if you do any kind of research on any business, man, there is no such thing as business staying the same over, forever. It has to improve, it has to change, it has to enhance. And what that usually looks like is an upset of an industry, or get this, when's the last time you bought a CD for your CD player? When the last time you did that? All right. You can have retro tech and be a retro enthusiast. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying look at the change in business for the music industry, and that upset a lot of people. That was their livelihood. That was their job. They had been working in the music industry for decades, right? And everybody was comfortable. Everybody was eating, or the executives were. I don't know if everybody was eating, but yeah, that business literally imploded. I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember Napster, right? Burning CDs and creating your own CD list. You know what I mean? But yeah, even so, animation, illustration, art. Let's just say art. I'll I'll direct it even tighter. AI is a tool, man. There is no justification in my mind to demonize the tool, because technology has to actually benefit, the people that are funding it are the people that are spending the money. If you say animation, right, how come everybody doesn't have an animated cartoon on, all topics? It's because it's wildly expensive, man. One 25-minute episode of animation, 2D, traditional animation, can run anywhere from $300,000 to $700,000. Go look at the budgets. You don't have to believe me, but look at the budgets of the production. All right, look at the budgets of production on live action movies. You're talking about 3D animation, right? Go check the budgets for how much it cost to do, 2 hours of a movie in terms of animation and CGI and all that stuff. If a human being is doing it, it is a ton of work, right? And the studios are the one fitting the bill. So they are right now pushing with every, ounce of their being to say, so you're telling me we can get this software to do all of this special effects and, everything we want, writing the script, whatever, for tens and millions of dollars less? Oh shit. Well, yeah, we'll do it. Where's it at? So that's the problem. The people that are actually pushing this technology is trying to save money using technology. So I can't blame them for that. That's business. They can spend less money to get, I wouldn't say similar. It's going to be better. AI is never going to be any worse than it is. So that's the thing that most people don't understand. And then, the hands look terrible. I was like, dude, I don't know if you understand how fast this is actually progressing. They're going to fix the hand problem. And people are like, oh, this looks ridiculous. Their hands are terrible. Right? And now, look at Google, Veo, look at Flow. Man, this stuff is on par with, reality every single month. They are enhancing and fixing because it needs to be. The same way CDs don't exist, the same way cassette tapes aren't sold in mass anymore. It's like the technology pushes the businesses to different, frontiers. So it's not going to stay the same. Again, I sympathize with anyone losing their job or their livelihood. But you can't be butthurt and say, I hate AI because it took my job. Right? And it doesn't stop anybody from being creative. Absolutely no one that does art is being forced to stop being creative. The only thing you're going to be forced to do is change your business. Right? If you're only offering, get this, rendering. I'm an illustrator. I will render what you say. Okay? If that's the only service you offer as an entrepreneur or an artist, then you're going to be replaced. Yes, 1000% true. You're being replaced actively because it's very expensive to pay you the wage you're asking for, a fair wage for creating original art. I don't like it any more than anybody else does, but I can see where AI is going. It's not going to get any worse. It's just going to keep getting better. And I can't draw faster than AI. I know that for sure. And I'm never going to try to. Right? But I'm not just a renderer. I don't just render art. I'm a creative. So AI still needs to be, prompted to do something. Hey, I got an idea. AI or ChatGPT or, whatever it is. Mid-Journey, I have this idea for a character. And you have to plug in a prompt, right? So the AI isn't the creative. It may be, given enough time. It could definitely, what was that movie? AI with Will Smith. In the movie, the doctor character, he was like, oh, one day they'll dream One day they'll have ideas. One day they'll dream. When we get to that point, we're cooked. As far as I can tell, I won't be replaced even then. And I mean that. Like I'm not afraid of, just like I'm not afraid of other creatives right now. I am not. What is the best way to say it? It is not a danger to me as a creative that someone else is creative. You understand? Just because you have ideas, that does not replace my ideas. I have my own creativity. I have my own ideas. I have my own approach to what I want to do. The ideas that come from me should feel original to me. So, no, I don't hate AI. People that use it for the purpose, just like any other tool. And I really, 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 it bothers me to the core to see someone so passionately against it. Because I've been through this with Photoshop back in 20 years ago. There was a time when people said, if you use Photoshop, you're not a real artist. And I'm like, at the time, I was too young to actually participate in any of these conversations because I wasn't a professional yet. I wasn't doing anything in that professional realm yet. But man, oh man, people were so pissed. They were so upset that was being forced upon them. And by they, I'm talking about the companies. The companies were the ones, remember I said, who's footing the bill to pay the artist? You know what I mean? If artists could pay their own bills, they wouldn't work for anybody. So the companies that are hiring these traditional artists are like, hey, we need you to make changes to blah, 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 right? We need you to make changes to this art. And the artist had to say, well, I can do that, but it's going to take another 3 days for me to redo this and redo that. And sure enough, you could do that. And that's how they had to do it. That's how art was created back then. But when Photoshop came along, guess what? It took a few clicks on a layer to alter and adjust art. Instead of 2 days, it took 2 minutes. Oh, I put that on its own layer. So yeah, that only takes a minute. I'll have it to you by lunch. Before I go to lunch, hey, can you make these 12 changes to this art? Yeah, no problem. And they would make the changes. So Photoshop was too powerful. It was too much of a push forward for production. So it didn't matter. They were like, bruh, I'm sorry. I know you don't like it, but you need to learn Photoshop. And the traditional artists were pissed. Oh my God. They were like, this is ridiculous. I'm a professional artist. I'm not learning this software. This isn't real art. And they lost their jobs, right? I've seen this before. AI is not new in that regard. Digital technology enhanced itself, right? Photoshop came along. It was the ChatGPT of my time when I was starting as a professional artist, right? Same argument, same conversation. Artists they didn't want to be replaced by a new tool, a new shiny tool that did the same thing that ChatGPT is doing right now. It made production faster, quicker, iterations were faster, you know what I mean? If an executive wanted something changed, it only took seconds to change it. And so it won. Photoshop won the argument for the company. It was like, wait, bruh, so you're telling me all we got to do is get this software and all of our artists can instantly change something? They're like, yeah, that's it. There is no argument then. Everybody needs to learn Photoshop. And everyone learned Photoshop. And that was, it's not the end of traditional art by no means, but try to work for a professional studio without knowing digital art at all, and they'll, if they're patient, they'll train you. If you're good enough, they'll say, well, you need to learn Photoshop. We need you to learn this in order to fit with our production. All right. Cause you can definitely be a traditional artist and still be dope enough that a Pixar or a Disney or Sony or whoever can see your value, But you're not going to just come in and not learn the pipeline tools, you know? So that's how I look at it. AI as a tool. It is a tool for creatives too. It is not just a tool for people that can't draw. It's very helpful for people that can't draw. But it is not just, it's not replacing creativity yet. And even if it does get to that point where it's like, man, did you see what, ChatGPT or AI came up with? I'm going to go watch a fully, AI movie where there was no humans involved. If we get to that point, it's still not challenging my ideas. My ideas are safe in my head until they start scanning them through my phone. We'll see. You see how long it took me to draw? God damn these straight lines. I hate drawing robots. Drawing people is so quick. Drawing robots takes forever. I'm gonna see if I can freehand some of this, man. God. When I drew this, all of these were used. These are all straight and curved, perfect lines because machinery isn't organic, So, can you look at my portfolio? Yes, come to a convention with your portfolio. That is the best way to show me your portfolio, and I would absolutely love to see it. And I can give any feedback and stuff at a show. That's the best time to, get it in front of me. Bring it to a comic convention, and I can see your work and give you feedback and all that good stuff. I love doing that because I know not everybody knows. We was talking about critiques earlier. Not everybody knows how to give, constructive, critique. So, absolutely. How many issues? Thank you. What was your inspiration for Tuskegee Heirs? Where did the idea come from? I'm sorry, I just saw that question. I'm sorry. Idea for Tuskegee Heirs was actually really cool, man. Me and Greg were at a children's book signing at a mall here in Atlanta, Georgia, and sure enough, this older gentleman he came up. He's like, all this stuff is cool, man. I had my posters up. We had the children's book. Greg was publishing at the time, and I had my posters on the table as well. So, older gentleman comes by the table, and he's like, "Hey, man, this is dope. Will I be at New York Comic Con? Probably not. Probably not, man. I think I've officially chosen my fate to take a few shows off. The biggest shows are the most daunting. I make a lot of money on them, but I actually have to put some fire behind myself to actually start really, really branding my own content. I got to start creating and publishing my own content. I'm going to take New York Comic Con as a way to actually, prove that in order to really start making money, I got to stop going to as many shows so I can focus on publishing my own content for my own brand. I need to get my art books done. I need to get, some coloring books. I need to get some, t-shirts. All of this stuff needs to be created, but it's so easy, man, just to go to these shows and be like, oh, I just made $5,000. Cool. And I get comfortable, doing that. And it's been 10 years and I don't have a children's book. I don't have a coloring book. I don't have an art book. So I know I could probably do them at the same time, but I've apparently proven to myself that I need to focus in order to get my stuff out. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Traditionally speaking, I can probably take a month and just probably print off 2 books, 2 art books and be done with it, but I gotta get out of this whirlwind of everybody else is asking me to do stuff and I say yes. But when it comes time to do what I need to do for myself, man, I come up with every excuse, or there's, there's money over here. I got to get this money. And I just put my own stuff on the back burner. So appreciate it. Jamar's, appreciate it, man. But yeah, I'm sorry. Back to the story. Older gentleman comes by the table. He looks at everything we got on the table and is like, this is all cool and stuff, but do you guys have anything with aviation? For aviation that teaches aviation. And I'm like, well, and at the time I was doing a series called Young Heroes, basically just taking black superheroes and characters, animation characters, and just making them young. I called it Young Heroes, right? And I'm like, well, I did have an idea. I said I was going to put some young Tuskegee Airmen in my Young Heroes lineup. And he got really excited, man. The older gentleman, he got real excited. He was like, man, if y'all do that, man, that'll be dope. That'll be so good. We don't have enough stuff teaching kids about aviation. You can put that in the airport. And he just goes on, right? And the conversation, moves on. And then Greg was sitting next to me. He was like, man, we need to write that up. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, the Young Tuskegee Airmen thing. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it was around Thanksgiving at the time when we were having this conversation. The holiday came around, man. We were I think we neglected our families and had a meeting around Thanksgiving. This is 2015 when this was all going down. And sure enough, man, within like one meeting, we came up with the name, we came up with the premise. We didn't want to disrespect any of the actual family members that are real, Tuskegee heirs, in fact, of the airmen themselves. So we put it in the future. You know what I mean? I was like, if it's in the future, I want giant robots. I want the jets to transform into giant robots, and weapons and martial arts came out of that. It was just one meeting we had, man. But yeah, we spent like the whole day just coming up with all of this stuff. And I posted an image, a sketch. I told Greg, I said, give me a week. Give me 1 week. I'll design the characters. I'll get everything going. And I posted the image to Facebook back in the day. And people was like, if this is what we think it is, shut up and take our money. And it was like, where's the Kickstarter? Where's the Kickstarter? And we was like, give us a second. We're gonna get that going. Did the Kickstarter and what? January to February of 2016. And it went bonkers, man. It went crazy. It was super well received. We got well over 70 grand for the Kickstarter. It was just, lightning in a bottle. So really, really crazy stuff. And from there, man, it was just like, okay, well, people like this idea. So we're still on track in my mind. I'm not going to stop until I get animation and everything else. I call it the Star Wars deal. This is a flagship concept. I believe in it. I don't want it to be diminished. I don't want to sell it to anybody just so they can change everything and be like, well, it's based on Tuskegee, but we added, Mexicans, Puerto Rican, we actually had people. We've pitched the idea to some studios before, and one of the first questions was like, does it have to be? Do the pilots have to be all black? And we're like, we looking, getting quiet. We're like, you mean the black pilots for the Tuskegee Airmen? Yes, they have to be black. But that doesn't mean there aren't other, ethnicities throughout the story. But yeah, man, they'll rip it up and make it into something else. So yes, I ink with pen tool. No. So I ink machinery with a pen tool. This robot, I've designed this robot, right? I hate drawing this robot. Because I hate drawing machinery. Because machinery is not organic and it has to be right. It's like math. I can't take very many liberties with machinery because if it's not correct, you know what I mean? It just doesn't work. If I draw a human character or an animal or a monster or something, right? I gotta draw some more monsters actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But I could take liberties, man. Like the face don't gotta be symmetrically perfect. But a machine or a robot or anything with straight lines and or geometry, yeah, if it's wrong, it's just wrong. Like the perspective has to be correct. But yes, I use the pen tool. This is a cool pen tool though, man, because it creates these nodes. And and I can stretch this, right? I can inflate the line, I can pinch the line, and then I can create a node along the line to make that curve exactly what I need it to be. So I love inking in Paint Tool Sci. Because of that, I know that's how Illustrator works, but I hate inking in Illustrator. It's not as this is both functionalities. This is I have a layer where I can draw right here, right? And that's bitmap, right? It's not vector. None of this is vector, but I can get both functionalities in here with this pen tool. It gives me the functionality of like the same pen tool in Illustrator. So I can get these nodes, I can move and shape the line exactly how I need it. And that's fantastic. But I can switch back and forth, so. Machinery, I was stumped. What's that? Yeah. Love your work. Appreciate it, man. I thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for the questions. I take years on artwork too. It's just, yeah, man. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna get this robot made in 3D soon. Like I'm gonna get 3D artists. The 3D folks are gonna design this robot, right, in full 3D. I will never. I swear to you, once this is in 3D and I can pose this, I will never draw this robot again. I promise you that. It's not that I don't like drawing. I just don't like drawing robots in perfect lines. I cannot stand making things perfect. It's just not my thing, man. I appreciate engineering. I appreciate architecture. I just don't like taking all day, man. It's not. I'm a concept artist, so it's pain for me. Like, oh, this took me 7 weeks. No. No. You get the idea. It's supposed to be robot. And then I'm ready to, I'm done. After I get the concept, I'm like, God, it took forever. This gun in this shot right here, look. You see this gun? This gun took like 6 hours. I kid you not. But you got to really look at all the details. I inked this gun using the same method, and I'm not joking. This thing took like 6 hours, man. And I hated every hour. I hated it. Doesn't seem too complex or too crazy, but when you get all into it, I was like, oh, please stop. I'm going to make this gun 3D, and I'm going to pose it, and I'm never going to draw that again either. Luckily, they get their weapons in the last episode. They got their weapons in issue 4, at the end of issue 4. I drew them there. All right. You got that's I did draw them there. But moving forward, everything that's machinery is going to be 3D. I'm not drawing this crap. No, I refuse. I refuse it. All human characters I will draw. All characters I'll draw. But not this machinery, bro. You've seen that shift in anime too. If you ever see a car or, really, really detailed, stuff, anime companies have, retired painstakingly drawing machinery. And it looks good in my opinion. Some of it's a little stiff sometimes. But if you get a good animation studio that understands how to like really work that 3D, man, it looks fantastic. I'm sorry. Question, he said, but what is it? I'm tired. I'm tired, boss. Oh, I'm tired, boss. Yes. I liked the way you spelled it. He said tired, boss. Yeah, man. So that is the goal. I will not be drawing this robot for much longer, and it's gonna be the greatest time. But I want everything. I want like the weapons to be 3D. As long as I can pose it and get the right, perspectives and everything. I don't care what software I gotta use. As long as I can pose it, I'm gonna be on it, bruh. It's gonna be great. I just need the perspectives and the actual, point of view Can be easily manipulated and changed. I'll draw the scenes and I'll incorporate the stuff in there. It'll be great. But all this right here is for the birds. I'm sorry. I'm not a tedious artist. This does not make me happy. I'm not going to be happy when it's done. That's the problem. Like, once it's done, I can appreciate that it's done right. And then I'm like, ugh, I hate you. It took 7 hours. There's no joy for me. Like, I never want to do this again. This sucked. It took forever. I just want to get it done. I want to be on to the next thing. That's my style. It's not for me, guys. I didn't become an architect on purpose. But I know people that love it. They love tedium. They love, drawing the windows of a building. I drew 78 windows. This took like 7 weeks. That's terrible. Sorry for you. Sorry for your loss. But they love it, man. Some people love that, and I don't envy those people. Is what it is. Is what it is. All right. I've been going for an hour and a half. It is now midnight o'clock, and the goal for me wasn't to keep y'all up all night. I promise. It's Monday night. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna definitely. Ow, I'm sore. Let me double check. Let me see how far we got, y'all. I think we did pretty good. The robot's gonna take another, I don't know, maybe another 2-3 hours. Just like, let me show you. Let me show you. You see all this crap in here? All these little stupid lines. You see all this crap? See all this? I gotta draw at least all that. At least all that. We did pretty good. But it's not gonna go quick. I know better now. To not lie to myself and be like, oh, I can finish it in 2 hours. No, it's probably gonna be another 3. Because then I gotta color it, right? So I know what's happening. I know what I've got myself into. This is probably why I left this on my hard drive from 2016. It's probably why I didn't touch it for this long. I didn't have it as 3D art yet, so. But I tell you what, man, y'all have been fantastic. Thank you for chilling with me, man. I'm gonna put this up and I will finish it and post it so you guys can check it out. I think I'm gonna actually, you know what? I've been really thinking about this, man. I think I want to produce issue 5 live. Like, I want to actually produce the comic live and everybody can actually see me do the panels and watch the process. Why not? Like, it's not gonna make it go any slower, but if I'm doing it as content, you know what I mean? People that want to see the book get created can check it out. It's always great to, get good engagement. But I think that may be what I do, man. If I got you in bind, it really does. It really does. Like, I feel the anxiety already happening. I know what's going to happen, man. It's going to be all day and all night. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm going to tell you that straight up. It's not my happy place. But you just wait. Listen, if I'm going to celebrate in unison, I will make sure everybody knows. I finally got this thing rendered in 3D. It's fantastic, everybody. I'm happy. And that means it'll be the same detail, no matter what perspective. All these stupid lines that I'm doing right now, I'll be, one time. See, like right now, let me give you an example. Right now, I'm looking at this and I'm saying I need to probably move over this side of these details right here, like this. I need to move these over to about right there. Just based on my reference, just based on the reference. All right? That's fine. And then I gotta fix it. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, it was wrong. See what I'm saying? I don't gotta worry about that if it's a human as much. But if it's a robot, you're like, that's not working the way it's supposed to. All right? Boom. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that, man. I think we're gonna work on the comic book live. I'll go live while I'm doing the pages for issue 5, and I'll just do some lives while I do the pages. Content will be made. Questions can be answered. The process can be viewed. Y'all can cheer me on and give me tips and encouragement and stuff of that nature. It'll be great. Yes, yes. I'm surprised everybody up on Monday night or Tuesday morning, whatever, however you want to talk. Y'all just hanging out. I took a nap today, so I know why I'm up. But yeah, I appreciate y'all hanging with me, man. That's the goal. So definitely look out for that. I will probably let y'all know. I'm really bad at scheduling lives, but apparently I need to get better. So we're gonna do that. Be like, hey man, I'm going live at this time for this long, and join me. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll do better. I promise. I will make sure to actually say when these are gonna happen. But it's gonna happen soon, like literally within the week. The goal for me is to go live far more often. And I can't think of a better live stream than to, be creating the comic. Honestly, I've never done it before. Never showed that process, but I'm cool with it. I think it'll be pretty cool. I still have prints from you from 2017 on my wall. Met you in Harlem. Oh, that's what's up. Black Comic Fest. That's what's up. Good looking out, bro. That is what's up. Yeah, I miss Harlem, man. I miss Harlem. Black Comics Fest was so dope. That's a thing. It's like, it feels like you lived through something and now it's gone. Not gone in the sense that, they don't have other events. I'm just saying that was unique, man. I love that convention. That was dope. Really, really dope. Had like a line around the freaking building. It was crazy. The support, the people that came. It wasn't even like a big convention. It didn't have to have thousands of people, but the support at that, at Harlem, man, for that Black Comic Fest was phenomenal, man. Freaking phenomenal. I think we sold like 400 books in one weekend. It was pretty dope. I do miss that show. Times are changing. Times are hard. Stuff like that. Be able to tell a young artists of the future. Back in my day, boy, we had some good stuff. We had some good. Where was this? The Schomburg. Yeah, Schomburg. Yes. Schomburg was packed out, and like I said, they could only let so many people into the Schomburg at one time, so the line was wrapped around the building, right? But almost nearly everybody that came through the door was interested in supporting. It wasn't like a traditional Comic-Con. At a traditional Comic-Con, you have, oh, that's what's up. That's where you met me? He said, absolutely. My sister stole a print, but I still have the rest. Glad to see you still working. Oh, I can't stop working. They keep charging me rent. I wish they would stop charging me rent. That would be great. But yeah, no, you got to keep going. This is life. And this is how the bills get paid. This is how the sausage is made, as they say. You got to keep it going. But no, really, really great convention, man. Happy to have been a part of that. Feels like a part of history now when you look back at it. If they ever make a documentary, hopefully I'll get to be a part of it. I'll probably be old. So tell us about, Black Comic Fest back in 2000. I worked on Comic Book Man on A&E. That's what's up. Well, good to see you. How has everything been? Are you from New York? Are you based in Harlem? What's the skinny on life? How's life been treating you since then? That's a question for both of y'all, I guess. How has life been going? Look, post apocalypse. In other words, pandemic. You survived the pandemic. So how's life? That's crazy, man. It really is. No disrespect for anybody that lost family members, please. No, I'm not being facetious in that sense, but really, for real, like literally, we survived a pandemic. That's actual factual stuff, man. Based in Jets, but worked with Kevin Smith. Yeah, secret stash. We have film. Oh, that's what's up, Jersey. Oh, Jersey. That's what's up. Yeah, it's weird to say it that way, but we did. We literally survived a global pandemic, and we're still here, man. It's pretty crazy. I'm sure they'll make a movie about that one day. I'm sure, if they haven't already. I'm sure they will. All right, I'm gonna save this. Hoo-ha, got you all in check. Bust the rhymes up in the place. True indeed. Yes, I get to record that's word on my seed. I'm about to give you what you need. One blood, everybody like you, y'all weed. All right, so I think we did a good job tonight. I'm approaching 1 hour and 40 minutes. The goal was to go live for at least an hour and a half. And I've done that. And your work is outstanding. Great, I followed from them, and your books are in secret. That's what's up. Thank you, and I appreciate you. I'm humbled that you have followed my craziness and my randomness since then. And I really appreciate it. Truly. That's the kind of stuff to where I be telling people, man, I don't know why people follow me. Because I don't make art for anybody. I don't try to appease anybody. I'm not trying to. I make art for myself. So anybody that follows my work, it's like icing on the cake. If it pleases you at all, that's great. That wasn't the intention. I just draw because I think it's cool. The stuff I come up with, I'm like, oh man, it'll be dope. If anybody has, any issue with what I create, I'm like, well, that's your prerogative. I call it, that's your Bobby Brown. That's your prerogative. I didn't draw it for you. I drew it for me. Well, why don't you draw? It's because I don't want to draw that. Why don't you draw that? That kind of stuff. So anybody following my work, I'm super appreciative of that. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your talents. Get working this. Yes, come on now. I wish I was talented. I really do. It would have saved a lot of frustration back in the day if I in fact was talented. Now, that's another great conversation. I know people will, die on that hill. Oh, you are talented. No. I am not talented because I never was instinctively or, naturally good at doing any art. That's never happened. Don't let anyone ever lie to y'all and say Marcus was good back when he was a kid. Nope, that's not true. Not true at all. But if I have to take any compliment about talent, hopefully, it's the way I see the world. That's what I say. Every time I approach that topic, I'm like, I'm definitely not talented in drawing. People use that term synonymous almost with what they mean is you're skilled. And I'm like, I appreciate you calling me skilled, but no talent is involved in terms of, illustration, drawing, and all that stuff. After 20, 30 years of doing something, you should be okay at it. If not, you probably need to get out of it. But skill had to be procured. Oh my gosh. And that's the thing that I think kept me drawing, is I was so frustrated. I'm like, how the hell are these artists drawing, these characters like this? What? And I couldn't draw it. To my best ability when I was a young artist, I could not recreate what I saw, right? But that made me want to draw more. That made me want to keep drawing and keep trying, keep practicing. And I got in trouble for it at school year after year, you know what I mean? Teachers after teacher was like, well, he's not dumb. He loves art though, but he's failing my class. I'm like, yup, I am, because your class sucks. It's boring, and I don't want to do that. Uh, but that's literally, man, talent that never touched me at all. I was never talented. So I reject that as often as I can because I don't want to give the impression that I am, in fact, talented as an artist. No, no, no. But if there is a talent, hopefully it's the way I see the world. If that is my skill, talent, whatever you want to call it, that I can honestly give credit. I can give credit to because I still get complimented for my ideas or the way I draw something, or the approach that I take to something. That's actually in my control. I can actually say now, I'm going to draw it this way on purpose because no one else is drawing it this way. Right. And so if that's, a skill in and of itself is to say, well, your brain saw something that no one else did. I'll take that. Be like, hey, bruh, hopefully my mind's eye is actually the talent and that the creator gave to me or something I was bestowed a vision, aka Marcus the what visual, and that's what I'll take. But Lord have mercy, I was so terrible back in the day. I got books. I'm gonna publish it one day. I'm gonna show y'all. Nuh-uh, Marcus, you was always good. God bless you. Nuh-uh. Watch, look at this. And I'm gonna show the drawings, man, because people need to see that. I'm not ashamed of it, but Lord knows it exists. I was bad, but I didn't care because I knew I could get better. I just didn't know how. There was no teacher. I didn't have a sensei to say, hey man, do it like this, and this, you'll get better. Nope. I was just determined to get better over time. So that's what had happened. Yeah. So, all right. But to save you guys the endurance factor of having to watch me go through this pain any longer, I'm going to shut her down. We are at the hour and 50-minute mark almost. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for entertaining me, asking good questions, and having me go down memory lane. I appreciate y'all. You guys are awesome. I will go live again every day. I think I'm going to go live every day this week. This is my birthday month, so I'm going to try to make sure I get as much live time. I did that last year. It was pretty fun. So sharing it, sharing a reason to go live. Like if I'm celebrating by drawing every day for my birthday month, I think that's a way better way to celebrate. And what are you doing for your birthday? Going live. Draw. That feels a lot better to me. So appreciate it. This is I talked about how much I hate drawing this mech. No, I love the design, man. I just hate drawing machines. So I'm trying to get this thing made into 3D, so I never have to draw it again. Lord knows. Imagine if I could just pose it like a little puppet, like a toy or something. Oh man, that'd be fantastic. All these stupid little details I'll never have to draw again. What? I'd be sick of that. But it's coming. I know one day soon. But yeah, man, y'all are awesome. Thank you. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna go ahead and get into what they call the bed. I got a salad I can eat. I'm slightly hungry. I don't know the rules of eating a salad late night or early morning. I think it's okay. I'm not going to bed right away, but thank y'all, man. It's been fun as always. Let me save my work. Y'all know. And thank you guys for joining. I will absolutely be back. Technically it's Tuesday. I'm gonna be back later today, and I should have this close to finish. Most of this is background detail at this point, so should be able to finish this off. I got some circles to do. Most of the face is done. I got the neck. This is just about done. I got this smoke in the back. Y'all know. I may put her happy early birthday, my brother. Appreciate you, dog. Thank you. That's very sweet. I will take all birthday tips that y'all want to send me. Okay. All those things will be available. No, I'm joking. But no, unless you're going to do it. Unless you're going to do it. So thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I will see y'all soon. Peace. Live is coming to an end. Y'all. Wait, where's my thing? Thank you guys. Check y'all later, man. Peace. All right, that's that. I don't know anything about that.